Hello, stream. Hi. Welcome. Welcome to something a little new. I have to turn this down in my headphones because this is crazy loud. Hi. So, hopefully everyone's doing alright. I'm gonna try something new with my stream today. I don't know how often I'll do little segments like this, but here's the thing. So Nintendo announced the Nintendo Switch OLED today, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit in like its own segment, because normally, you know, current events with the video game industry, I just kind of talk about it while I play other games, but considering Switch is my baby, and I like Nintendo, I figured I could probably just devote its own full segment on this, so that way I can get all my thoughts without, like, losing my train of thought because, you know, my Porygon dies or something, you know, and that completely distracts me. Much like this conversation right now, where I haven't even begun talking about the thing. But yeah, we're gonna just talk for a little bit about this thing, this Nintendo Switch OLED. And I'm gonna turn this down a little bit more in my headphones. It's kind of overpowering me from what I can see on the stream as well. So, not too big of a deal to turn that down some more. But yeah, what can I say? So today, Nintendo announced a new Switch console. It is not the regular Nintendo Switch, it is not a Nintendo Switch Lite, it is, I believe, just simply called the Nintendo Switch OLED, which refers to the new type of screen that the Nintendo Switch has. And hang on, let me actually get the specs pulled up. OLED. Let me get them their specs. So this just comes from Nintendo.com, and it basically says, we can set the Switch system into the dock to play Nintendo Switch games on the TV. By using the built-in wired LAN port, players can enjoy another way to connect online in TV mode. So it comes with a LAN in the dock itself. And what else? Obviously, the OLED is different from the current Switch that we have. I believe the current Switch screen is just a 6.2-inch LED, just regular LED. OLED is a little different from regular LED, as you may or may not know. Basically, from what I understand, I did some quick research, just some quickies. It will look better. It will be nicer on your eyes than a regular Switch. Like, it'll be healthier for you to look at. Obviously, it's slightly larger, 0.8 inches larger. Ooh. Which it is now 7 inches instead of 6.2. So, and that's really it, though. Oh, sorry, no, never mind. There is one more new feature, and that is that the kickstand on handheld mode is different. It's not that flimsy piece of garbage. It's now something that can apparently be adjusted to several different angles. I'm curious to see if that's really gonna work the way they showed it off, or if it's just gonna slide around. I would imagine it's gonna work the way they say. I like to give Nintendo the benefit of the doubt most of the time, considering I'm a fanboy who I can't do it. I can't talk shit about them. I've tried and tried again, but I just can't. Okay, I need to stop. If it wasn't obvious based off of my tone and me forcing myself to have some kind of reaction to this, it doesn't really do much for me, and I feel like a lot of other people from the impressions that I've glanced over as well kind of feel the same. Maybe there's some people that are like, yes! 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 OLED! But like, I don't know. So for those who don't know, I literally just bought a new Switch. Like, I'm talking, this bitch arrived in Amazon yesterday. And I am not exaggerating. I have the Animal Crossing Nintendo Switch Lite. I can kind of show you, I guess. I don't have my webcam plugged in. What can I do to show you? I could show you the Switch, like, home screen. I could show you that that's a little different. I got the Joy-Con. Just put that in there. Let's see. Can I show you this? Is this gonna let me show you? Let's see. Yeah, so I've got this. You can tell by the Joy-Con. These two Joy-Con only come with the Animal Crossing dock. So yeah, that's my little humble brag. I literally just bought this Switch. Not because I really wanted the Animal Crossing one, which I kind of did, but that alone was not a selling point for me. I've seen Animal Crossing Switches like in my local Walmart for a while now. And so it wasn't completely like, whoa, Animal Crossing Switch that made me make the purchase. My Switch crapped out on me. My fan, as you may or may not have known if you were watching me play Mario Golf on my stream, my fan fucked up. Oh yeah, by the way, I need to check Twitch real quick and make sure we're not... I just need to check the dashboard real quick while I'm talking here. Make sure we're getting good bit rate. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay. So yeah, I literally just bought a Switch. So for me especially, the OLED Switch looks like something I don't need. It is $50 more than the regularly priced Switch. And as far as I'm aware, the regular Nintendo Switch is still not getting a price cut. Which, you know, it's fine. $300 isn't a lot for a single console. You know, Nintendo still has to draw some kind of profit from it, right? I'm a bit concerned for this because we've seen some newly released Switch games or some Switch games that are coming up that aren't really looking too amazing, if you want me to be honest. I mean, granted, most of them are still, like, in development footage, like, situations, like Metroid Dread, which, weirdly enough, this is releasing on the same day of. I'm not sure if, like, that's going to, like, take advantage of the OLED Switch, but here's the thing. Apart from, like, I think there's 64 native gigabytes of storage space, and I think the regular Switch is only 32. I could be wrong. But if that is the case, there's not really any, like, technical differences. Almost said difficulty, because I'm used to that. There's no, like, technical differences in docked mode. You get a LAN adapter, and for first-time Switch buyers, you get a little bit more storage space. Hang on, let me fact-check that real quick. Native storage space on a regular Nintendo Switch is 32. Yeah, so this is double that. Now instead of 2 games, you can download 4. Ooh. Actually, Switch games usually aren't that large. You could probably download like 10 Switch games if you really wanted to. Depending on the size of them, of course. But if you already own a Switch, my question to you is, how much do you play it in handheld? Do you exclusively play it in handheld? In which case, if you're looking for, you know, maybe your Switch is also crapping out like mine was, and you're looking to see if you need to buy another one. If you only play it in handheld, the Switch Lite is a great option. So it's a bit confusing. Like, who is this for? The OLED? Because I'm not seeing anyone, at least in my timelines, I guess I haven't searched too hard, but I'm not seeing anyone who's creaming themselves being like, yeah, day one. Like, hardcore Nintendo fans, maybe. If I didn't buy this new Switch, I would only be buying the Switch OLED because I needed a replacement for my old Switch. And I'm not gonna say that Nintendo obviously set this up or anything, because that's dumb, that's stupid. For like my Switch in particular, to crap out at this time. But I don't know how everyone else's Switches are faring. It's a pretty durable system overall, the regular Switch. I've accidentally dropped it out of my dock more times than I would feel comfortable admitting to. Yet, my screen on my old Switch never saw any damage. The only issue I ever had was there was a crack on the top, or like there was a chip, like a, how do you describe it? There's a piece of the plastic that literally broke off on the top of my Switch unit itself. I lost the kickstand because it popped off on an airplane and I could never find it. And yeah, the fan. The fan was the big issue that made me have to switch off. Because my fan, and from what I can tell, this was not a common thing. My fan broke on my last Switch, so I had to buy a new one. Also, hello, Nat. It's been a while. How's it going? So yeah, this new Switch, it looks cool, but I don't need it. You are a chicken. Why are you a chicken, Nat? Why? I mean, I do... KFC is nice. I prefer Lee's and Popeyes, but, you know, chicken can be nice. But why have you burned yourself to a crisp, Nat? What's going on with this? Here's what I will say, though. If anyone doesn't own a Switch, or if you need an upgrade because yours is dying like mine, then sure, the OLED might be fine. But for me, as a person who already exists with this, you know, like I said, I have the Animal Crossing Switch now, so like, it's not for everyone. I think it's for those who play on handheld mode the most. That's a good point, and I think I agree. But at the same time, that's kind of what... Ooh, pop. That's kind of what the Switch Lite is, but I guess this is for those who play in handheld more, but still sometimes play on TV? I guess? I don't know. It's a bit confusing, but I would say most people probably don't need this. I'm gonna say... Yeah. At least, you know, Skyward Sword HD has definitely sold me over recently with the quality of life trailer. Like, I'm like, okay, now I'm actually really interested in Skyward Sword, and I think it's earned its price tag because they've done a lot to change the game. And that game looks fine. So I guess what most people are, I guess, upset with this announcement is, you know, they're I don't know. Like, for me, I'm indifferent. Like, I don't hate it, I don't love it, it's just there, I guess. It's just not for me. It deserves the muns by default. I like Skyward Sword. I've said my piece on it a few times on this stream, and some people are going to nuke me for for repeating myself often. I really do think Skyward Sword is a really good game. Just there were definitely problems that I think are being addressed in Skyward Sword HD, but I'm gonna reserve my judgment on Skyward Sword HD for when that actually comes out. But the whole reason I brought it up was, you know, people were seeing the release of like Metroid Dread or like the E3 footage anyways, and being like, ooh, some parts of this don't look too hot. And to that I say, in development footage, but also kind of. So some people were expecting the Switch Pro, which is now not real, to be this ultra amazing device. And I've even heard some people be like, oh yeah, I want to see 4K out of that. And I'm like, no, I don't think 4K is ever something that the Switch was gonna do. The Switch could barely run 1080p. That would have to be a massive improvement over the Switch that I just don't think they would ever do. Because that would mean it'd be like the new 3DS, but worse. Because, you know, new 3DS, luckily there was only like 3 or 4 games on exclusively the new 3DS. If you had something that did 4K compatible, I feel like there would be some technical limitations that some games, like more games, would not be able to handle both versions of the Switch. And of course we can't forget about the Switch Lite as well. So maybe the existence of the Switch Lite is why they kind of have to play this safe. I'm not sure. But yeah, I guess I don't have too much to say about this in general. Other than it looks fine. I think the white dock is actually pretty sexy. Not gonna lie. My Animal Crossing Switch is a mostly white dock with Tom Nook on the front. I really like the white Switch, and I mean I have 4 docks now, and the other 3 are all just the default matte black ones. And you know what? The white texture on top of the plastic, like, I don't know what you would call it, just like the plastical feeling, the texture of it. Like, it looks like vanilla ice cream in person. The backside of my Animal Crossing Switch does anyways. And it's kind of the same color as this, so like, I really don't need it. But it's interesting how the Switch OLED is both white dock and the matte black dock as well. My biggest concern or question, I guess, at this point is, are those different Joy-Cons? I'm holding my Joy-Con literally up to the image of the TV, or on my monitor right now, and my Joy-Con, like, perfectly fits the same size. So I'm inclined to say no. Also, they showed in the trailer them using the Joy-Con on the grip ring thing. The Ring Fit Adventure ring. And it fit on there just fine, and it didn't look like it was, like, slightly larger. I'm wondering if that's also the reason why it's only 0.8 inches larger. Like, maybe they just got rid of some of the bevel around the edge of the Switch. If it fits the grip. I guess maybe they could have also made a new grip. But if it fits the regular grip here, which these ones do, obviously. Ooh, good music. If it fits the regular grip, then yeah, I guess that answers the question. But I'm wondering, or I guess that would be the bigger thing. If a Switch Pro were to come out in the future that was like big boy, you know, they would have to redesign a lot of these peripherals. And I mean, I guess that hasn't stopped Nintendo in the past, especially with the DS line. Each DS being completely different, and like a lot of early DS peripherals relying on that Game Boy Advance slot, which just completely got nuked with the DSi. I don't think there will be a Pro version. I agree. I think this is the final model of the Switch that we will see before we get a new console that is considered its own new thing. I think I agree with that, yeah. I really do think that if 4K were to be possible on Switch, which I really don't see Nintendo diving into. I see Nintendo diving into 2K, but not into 4K. And that's going to be a couple of years away. Yeah, I'm honestly, here's what I really want to see out of Nintendo. Since this is more or less just the same Switch, now here are my point of contentions for making the Switch a better system. Because as much as I love my Switch, I do have some tiny, just gripes. Not big boy issues that I'm gonna fucking scream in 17 languages over. But at least one language I might slightly yell. And that's probably going to be English, but I can't make promises. This is a big if. If Nintendo makes anything into 4K, it'll be the screen, which, for example, mine doesn't support. What do you mean yours doesn't support? Huh? Oh, the TV. Yeah. Okay, so that's another thing. Yeah. 4K TVs are becoming more common, but they're still not commonplace like 1080p. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a 4K TV that's only in our living room, and I have a regular 1080p screen that I have in my bedroom, which used to be in my stream room, but eventually I just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna play this off of my computer monitors, because it's easier to stream that way. So the way I do it is, I have a little button that I press, and it's a converter box, and it basically converts my PC from a dual monitor setup to a single monitor setup, and then the other monitor becomes my TV for Switch. So yeah, that's how I do this, and my monitor, I think it's just 1080p? I don't know. I'm pretty sure my monitor only outputs at 1080p. I'm gonna be honest with you. With that TV that's out in our living room, which is my roommate's TV, I cannot tell the difference between 1080 and 4K on the PS4. I can't. The most I care about the OLED Switch is the Ethernet not needing an adapter. That is a good point. It does come with the hardwired Ethernet, which is like a first for Nintendo. I have my adapter, my Switch adapter for Ethernet plugged into my Wii U right now, because the Wii U also didn't have that. And I'm pretty sure the Switch doesn't have it. Or, not the Switch. Well, yes, that, but I was gonna say the Wii, regular Wii. So, it is a first, okay. So, yeah, that's nice that they're not making us spend, like, what, 40 bucks, 50 bucks to get this extra adapter? I mean, if you really want to look at it that way, you can use, like, it's only $50 more than the regular Switch, right? So I guess you're kind of just paying for having that, right? Well, I guess you're also paying for a few other amenities, but my biggest concern is, I guess, OLED, as far as the screen itself, OLED does have a tendency to do burn-in, which isn't something most people are going to experience. But if you leave your Switch like this whole time my Switch has been on this screen while I've been talking, if you leave your Switch on the home menu and you forget to turn it off, it does have its auto turn-off thing, which actually literally just kicked in as I said that. It does have this, which will help reduce burn-in, but yeah, I mean, I guess now that I think about it more, it's probably not an issue because the Switch turns itself off. But there is the technical concern that it is possible and OLED is more vulnerable to burn-in than regular LED. I'm sure that's a minor issue. I don't know a lot about the subject, so I'm probably the wrong person to make a comment about it. But it is something that I noted some people were cautious about. You have your set to not turn itself off. Okay. So if you have that enabled, then your Switch is at risk if you were to, by example, I don't know a game offhand that you would do this, but let's say you needed to like grind out a clock. Oh, okay, Xenoblade 2. If you had to grind out the Merc missions in Xenoblade 2 by leaving the game on and you didn't turn your screen off, you could have the Xenoblade 2 menu burned into your screen forever, which could be concerning. Granted, I think you have to have it on like max brightness and like it has to be like hot. Like you have to leave your Switch on to the point where it like gets really hot in order for this burn-in to really occur. But it is something that should be noted. But I guess if a new person who wasn't technically knowledgeable with the Switch had to choose between like okay, so let's say I'm Karen, I'm going to the store, I'm buying my son's Switch, but I don't know anything about it. I'm sure I would either choose the Switch Lite or the regular Switch over the LED Switch, right? Why would you keep your Switch on max brightness, though? I don't know. I mean, I don't. I keep my Switch. I mean, I don't even play it on handheld that much. I don't really have an argument for that. But I guess some people might, and if they did, then that would be what you're dealing with. Yeah, I agree, Nat. I also only play docked, really, especially because, you know, lately I only play my Switch when I'm streaming anyways. And for me, having this be no different for handheld, or sorry, docked mode, kind of just makes me be like, I don't really think I need it. It looks cool. I like the design. I just don't think I need it. I got more discussion out of this than I thought I was. Does anybody else have anything to add? I'm trying to think if I can think of anything else. It's just a PS Vita without the folders or themes. See, I never had it. Actually, no, that's not true. I have had a Vita before for like a week. You've gone through a few Switches. Who, me? This is my second Switch. Though I guess I do have a Switch Lite. That was my roommate's brother's. But my roommate ended up upgrading his brother's Switch into a regular Switch. And so I guess they did like some weird trade-off, and then my roommate was like, here, have a Switch Lite. And I'm like, okay, this is gonna sit on my shelf. And then sometimes I'll play Animal Crossing without having to delete my save data. But speaking of, now that I have a new Switch, I had to delete my save data, so, I mean, I do have my old Switch still, so if I ever, for some reason, needed to go back, I could do that. I lost all my Splatoon data, I think, unless that was able to switch over. New account, too? No, I was able to system transfer my account. This is the same account that I've had before. Like, I've got all my same friends here, and it's got like all my, like some of the save data is here. Like, I played Mario Golf, and that information was just instantly there. I was like, okay, that's cool. I haven't really played much of anything. I have Splatoon on physical cart, so I should put that in sometime and see if I still have my save data. But I know that is not cloud save data backed. That's the big thing, right? Is it needs to be backed by the cloud, I think, for this to be transferred? I don't know. I know for a fact, though, that my Animal Crossing save data is not here. What do you mean a system update? Another one already? We just updated the system like yesterday. What are you talking about? Added compatibility to become a Switch OLED. Oh, I broke it. There it is. Let's see. Oh, you know what? If I tried to play Animal Crossing right now anyways, it's going to ask me to update that game, isn't it? Or did it already download that? Oh no, it must have already downloaded the update. Let's see. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a new island. So I guess that's the other thing. If you already have a Switch, you might want to be concerned with certain games not being backed by the cloud data. Most of them are, but there are some weird exceptions like this, which I understand why. There's this, there's Splatoon. I don't know offhand all of them. Yeah, I don't know what is with that that horse and horsing around. Yeah, I've got no idea why I'm getting that ad. Yeah, okay, so yeah, this is a new island. So that was all I needed to see was the Nook logo right there. That answered that question. Yeah, I don't really think I have much else to say other than it's cool. It's not for me. I would recommend people who don't own Switches and are like planning on playing it more in handheld than on a TV, then I would say, yeah, go for it. But if you plan on playing on a TV primarily, I mean, I guess it depends on how badly you want that Ethernet adapter too. I mean, it is something you can get without need of the new dock. I'm wondering, okay, so here's what I'm wondering. I heard someone say that the OLED Switch will fit into old docks. Does that mean old Switches will fit into OLED docks? If so, can I just buy an OLED dock with an Ethernet port? I didn't think about that until just now. I mean, these are just questions that we'll have to answer eventually once the thing comes out. Which isn't too far off, what? Like, literally 3 months and 2 days? That's a good question. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say on this topic. Could it be that they aren't compatible? I don't see why they wouldn't be. Hang on, let me pull up a picture of the OLED Switch. And let me switch my monitor back over so I can actually get dual monitor setup going here. And maybe capture the screen here. Go for left monitor capture, please. Please? There it is. Okay, OLED Switch. Let's see the trailer again. Or maybe... Does this have pictures of, like, the underside of the Switch is what I'm wondering. Okay, yeah. So that is the exact same USB-C port. Which is how I understand that the Switch docks. The bottom of my Switch, since I have it right here. The only thing that I could ever say maybe might make it incompatible is if these two dots right here, they're some part of the Switch dock itself. Oh god, my Switch wasn't in it though. Those little holes like hold the Switch in place so you can't move it left and right while it's in the dock. So if those holes are on a different position, which holding this up right now, it looks like it's in the exact same spot. But if they are in a different position, then that would answer the question that, yeah, you can't. But based off of what this looks like, I doubt we get an inside look at the dock, right? Anywhere on here? Is this like... Okay, yeah, I'm looking at this right now. I'm seeing where they got that extra screen real estate. So I think the Switch itself is the exact same size, but this bevel here... I'm holding up my Switch right next to this. The bevel here is significantly less. This little space between this line and where the screen starts, that's like, I would say, probably about 0.8 inches more on my Switch than it is there. Which would be where that extra screen space comes from. So yeah, I think the Switches are the exact same size, so... I guess if you really want that dock, you can just go get the dock. You don't even need the OLED. It's literally just the screen. Apparently there's... I don't know if I believe them, but they said that there's enhanced audio as well with it. Like, I'm trying to... Like, what are they gonna do? You can only do so well, yeah. Onboard speakers. Does my Switch not have that? Well... I see that hole. I have that exact same hole on my Switch, but it's significantly smaller on my Switch, so maybe they have some kind of larger stereo speaker. I think, yeah. Yeah. I did just order the SS game and Joy-Con. I'd like to get the Joy-Con eventually if I can ever find them. I'm more concerned about getting the amiibo personally. That is something that I want. I have literally every other Zelda amiibo sitting behind me. I just recently purchased the Skyward Sword Link and Twilight Princess Link to complete the collection, and then bam, Nintendo announces this, and I'm like, ah, okay. We have them in bunches. I wonder if I can find the Loftwing amiibo in America. Loftwing amiibo. They're going for $50 with $25 shipping on eBay. That's not what I'm looking for. How much is it by default? I remember it was more than the standard amiibo. It's 25, right? Yeah, I'm finding it for 50, 48. Someone is doing a bundle with the Joy-Con and the fucking amiibo for 150, and I'm like, no, I'm good. Yeah, this Switch launches on the same day as Metroid Dread. Which is cool. I'm wondering if that was on purpose, or like if it just so happened to be that was the best day that they launched it. I'm sure it's the latter, but like I can't really think of anything else that this Switch OLED would do to be like, oh, like are tech savvy people the like ideal crowd for Metroid? I don't know. Because that's the only thing I can think of is like the tech savvy crowd is who this is for. I can't think of anyone else. You just pre-ordered the amiibo. Yeah, unfortunately for me, that is not an option at this current moment. I am keeping amiibo alerts on Twitter on notification mode, but so far I'm just getting Dark Samus amiibo, which is cool. I already have that one though. I have most of the amiibo. I'm so tired of spending money on amiibo, but every time they announce one, I'm like, I gotta have it. You even have the Metroid amiibo? Like the squishy one? Yo, how do I... Is that available for international import? Because... Metroid amiibo. Or are you talking about the Dread amiibo? I'm not sure if I'm interested in the Metroid Dread, the 2 amiibos, the Emmy, and the regular Samus. Regular Samus. Oh, it's Emmy. Okay. Metroid amiibo. Let's see. I can spend $289 on the Samus Aran and Squishy amiibo through Amazon. That's a great idea, thank you. I can also spend $349 for the Samus Returns Legacy Edition. No thanks. You have the actual... See, the actual Metroid, the Squishy Metroid, is one that I think I want. But I'm not sure if I'm interested in the other Metroid amiibos. I like Metroid. I streamed Zero Mission earlier this year. I really liked that game. But I can't really think of what I would do with it. With another Samus, 2 more Samus amiibos, and the Emmy. I'm sure the Emmy will do something cool in Metroid Dread, but maybe it'll be like maybe it'll be like Fury Bowser, and it'll just summon Emmy to the room just to make your life more stressful for no reason. That'd be cool. I can't really think of anything else. I see people in Nintendo's Twitter posting, "Where's the Switch Pro?" And I can't tell if they're shit posting or if they're being legit. I hope that they're shit posting. Because if they still think a Switch Pro is coming, then I think I have bad news for them. But I guess I don't know. So only time will see. All base amiibo there are $12. I am jealous. I'm gonna have to take a vacation now just to buy some amiibo. You know, that's what I did when I was in Japan, right? There were certain amiibos that I couldn't find here in the States, and so when I went to the Parco Mall, I think it was called, I don't remember. When I went to that mall in Shibuya, I found a store that was selling amiibos, and it wasn't the Nintendo store. And so I was like, oh, I gotta buy those amiibos. So I bought I think I bought 10 amiibos in Japan. So I just spent way too much money on amiibos. But I couldn't find them here. I don't care where they come from, as long as I'm not paying scalper rates, you know. I don't keep them in the boxes. Some people will hurt me for that, but I like to actually use them when I can. I say that, but a lot of the amiibos just don't have function. Sent me on Discord. I have to open up Discord. If I've not seen... Oh, it wasn't easy to find me. Well, I just added that new profile picture. Yeah, look at that. All of them are new. Do I have Byleth? Yes, I do. I forgot that there was a Byleth amiibo. There's also Min Min coming out soon. I'm hoping Pyra and Mithra are separate amiibos that are just versions of the statues, so that way I can have... Now I have the large, and then I could have the small. You just wanted Ike? I happen to have a Radiant Ike. I have, most of the Smash line behind me. He's nowhere to be found. I'm sorry. I'll initiate a trade. If I can find an Ike, I'll ship it to you, and then you can ship me a Loftwing. I don't know if I can find an Ike, though. I haven't seen Ike around lately. But if I do... Alright, well, I think that's gonna conclude my Let's Talk thing. This was fun. I like the discussion. I think I will do more of these, devoted discussion things, because it's nice. I can keep focused on the topic that I'm trying to discuss without getting distracted by my Porygon dying. So... With that said, let me go kill a Porygon real quick.